The new NBA and MLB season is in full swing, and BetOnline has you covered with the best odds and biggest promotions and live in-game betting on all your favorite teams. Head to BetOnline today to stay updated on all the action. BetOnline, the game starts here.
We are now deep into October, with its crisp mornings, later sunrises, and cool autumn sun. It's a time when a desire stirs in all of us, a desire so primitive, so ancient, it cannot be ignored. A desire to be cozy. One brand of cozy footwear is synonymous with the season, even becoming the cliche uniform of a basic fall bitch. But its reach extends much further, loved and loathed by men and women all over the world. A shoe that started out as a way for surfers to warm their feet after a morning on the waves, they quickly became a cultural touchstone in their own right. And like the changing leaves on the trees, seeing people stomp around in them is an undeniable sign that fall has arrived. And that's why this week's On Brand is on Uggs.
We're all jazzed up, really having a cow. You want your favorite show and it's on right now. It's on brand.
Hello and welcome to On Brand with Jon and Marisa. I am Jon.
I am Marisa. Jon, what are you holding?
What do you mean?
Did you happen to see the Taylor Swift Eras Tour movie this weekend?
You know, I did see the Taylor Swift movie this weekend. I don't know how you figured that out. Did I get all the merch? I did. Did I go a day early to make sure I got the merch? I did.
What merch?
What do you mean? The metal popcorn tin,
God.
the reusable plastic cup, the canvas tote with concert dates in the back, and the baton.
What's a baton?
It lights up and you go like this and everyone in the audience like shakes it.
Is it still sealed in the bag?
No, it's just this
Okay.
weird plastic. And I got the
This is
limited
depressing.
edition AMC bracelet. The only way that you could get the bracelet is if you brought a bracelet and had to exchange it with an AMC employee.
Oh.
So-
What do they do with your bracelet?
They wear them.
Okay.
Everyone's into this. I know, listen, I can tell by the way that you're kind of bringing this up.
I'm just thinking, where is this going in your home?
Okay, here's the thing.
That popcorn tin would make a really nice bathroom wastebasket.
You want me to turn this into a garbage can?
Yeah, or if you like something to throw up in or something. I just don't see where this is going in I've been in your home.
You know what's great about it?
250 square feet. Where is this
Wow. Okay, the gloves are off. I can only afford a small apartment. The great thing about it is you don't have to worry about where it's going to go.
Okay.
Will it hold dry flowers someday? Maybe.
Oh, dear.
Will I sell it? No. I'll keep it. But listen, the merch is just a funny little thing. Let's talk about the film.
Okay, wait. Before we get to that,
Okay.
our friend Shab, Brand Freak, said you were driving around to different movie theaters to get different popcorn buckets.
Okay, here's the thing.
Were you not going to share that?
I did not realize that when I tell Shepard the private things of my life, that they would then always trickle down to you.
I didn't bring it up preemptively because I thought that was something you were going to. I thought that was something you were doing for the pod, like something you were kind of doing, knowing it was a little silly to say, like, well, I'll at least get to share this funny story. You weren't even going to tell that you drove around to different AMC's to get different popcorn buckets.
I did. Well, first of all, the information's wrong. I did not drive around to get different popcorn buckets. I drove to one AMC to get this popcorn bucket and this cup. I didn't even get the tote, but here's how my mind works. I get home and I've got the bucket and the cup. It's like, I didn't even need the tote. I'm so proud of myself I didn't buy the tote.
Yeah,
Then
you
I
should have
start-
been.
Then I start looking online. And then I start, I'm in a couple of Taylor Swift online communities.
Yes.
And then people are like, hey, I can't find the tote anywhere. Can anyone get me an extra tote? And I'm like, well, I sell totes. Man, everyone really wants this tote.
Panic is setting in.
Panic is setting in. What is it? FOMO?
FOMO.
FOMO is setting in. All of a sudden, I need the tote. So I didn't want to go back to the AMC.
FOMOtsum. Fear of missing out on Taylor Swift merch.
Perfect.
FOMOtsum.
FOMOtsums. I was full on FOMOtsums. I didn't want to go back to the AMC that I went to, because they would be like, old man, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So I went to a different AMC to get the tote.
He
And
said
that's
you
it.
were like waiting for people to get discard their used popcorn buckets or something.
He seems like he has issues. I'll talk to him off pod. It sounds like he's just making up stories to be popular.
Yeah, probably.
Can we talk about the movie?
Yes, okay.
I mean, can we focus on the important thing? Taylor Swift has released a movie. I don't know if you know the story, but in a nutshell, she bypassed all the Hollywood studios, put in $10 million, made this film herself at her Los Angeles concerts, which I was at. So I have a very personal connection to this film. Released it through AMC. That's why AMC's all on board and doing their bracelets. They made little posters that they gave out. At the end of the movie, it's like AMC distribution. It's like crazy. It's a whole different thing. So I really wanted to see this movie. The movie is literally just the concert. There's no like, how did the concert come to be? The making of it.
No
it
behind the scenes, no backstage.
behind the scenes at all. No
Wow.
backstage. You don't even see her getting rolled into the thing in a broom cart, which I do feel like was a big misstep. I do feel like
huge missed opportunity. I want to see somebody in the makeup chair getting powdered up. Give me a little slice of life. That's so Taylor.
I think that will be a different thing. And I agree. At first
be.
I was like, a concert, that's kind of boring. And then I started to see the TikToks, like 2 and 3 days leading up to this film. I saw it yesterday, and it had been out for 2 days. So the TikToks, Taylor encouraged all of her fans to treat the film like a concert. Get up and dance, sing.
Insane.
Wave your light wands, like
Insane.
lose your mind. If you couldn't afford the concert, now this is your chance to enjoy it. If you've already seen it, go do it again. And these videos were giving me a panic attack. Some of them were making fun of people like me. They're like, 2 ways to watch the Taylor Swift movie. And it's like all these kids screaming and then just like old people like me just sitting there.
I'm surprised they didn't do 2 screenings, like a loud and a quiet. You know how like a movie theater will have like a 10 a.m. screening for like people to bring their screaming children to?
Yeah, or in a 21 or over where you I
Yes.
actually thought that when I was in the
Yeah.
movie theater, like, oh, they should have like made that like an
Yeah.
option. So I was kind of dreading going to this movie. So I'm at the movie. I didn't think there was going to be trailers because she had bypassed everybody, but then I realized everyone wanted their trailer attached to Taylor Swift. There was like 10 trailers. Then the movie starts. And I mean, it's not even 10 minutes in before this Congo line of children just start going around the theater and they're singing and they're dancing and they're waving their arms. And I'm like, oh my God, it's happening. First of all, my theater was only half full. And when I bought my ticket, it made it seem like it was packed.
I assume they were all sold out.
Me too. Something was deceptive. Because when I bought it, it looked like there was only a couple seats left.
Were you the oldest person there?
Wow.
There's
I
the
wasn't
sound of a
expecting
crow
that
off in the
question.
distance.
There was an ominous.
Were you the oldest person there?
I don't know.
Not saying old, but oldest.
There was definitely people in my generation.
Okay.
I did not feel out of place. The Congo line was
Some other blondes.
Okay, they don't even know what that joke is.
John thinks he's blonde.
Okay, well, now they're aware of what that joke is. I am a youthful blonde.
Well, all the video that you showed us about to say like, can you believe I'm going to see this screening? It was like everyone looked 15.
Yeah, I just realized I probably shouldn't continue to eat popcorn, with my
old
mouth
popcorn.
like up in a mic. Yes, it's a young crowd. Obviously, that's her main fan base is a young crowd. I will say that.
Do you think they made the popcorn bucket out of metal so nobody could cut a hole in the bottom and put their penis in it?
I don't even understand. Like when I have stories that I'm going to tell you, there's not a remotely
Because that would be like
thought.
inappropriate for all the children there. You know what I mean? That old trick. Penis in the popcorn. Hole in the bottom. Reach in. Get a surprise. Happy Halloween. Maybe that's why it's metal.
That could be. We'll have to ask the marketing team for that.
One can assume.
So I would say about 20 minutes into the movie,
Yeah.
I was also standing and dancing
my God.
and singing with strangers and just having an absolute blast
If
at
you
this
can't
movie.
beat them, join them.
If you can't beat them, join them. At one point, this young woman came up to me and was like, put her arm
9-year-old.
out, and we started dancing, and I was like twirling her around. We're like literally treating this thing like a concert. We're applauding after songs, and even like I'm like, who are we applauding
we
for?
thinking?
Like
Yeah.
no one can hear us, or like cheering and stuff. But it was so good. The movie's so
That's great.
good. I saw it in IMAX. It made me 8% gayer than I am. I loved seeing like every bead of her costume. You're like in it. Like,
Yeah.
you're right there with her. I realize I have now seen this concert from every viewpoint. I was in the 400s, I was in the 200s, I was on the floor, and when you watch the movie, you're like, it's Taylor's point of view.
Yeah.
You're like looking out into like seeing the crowd she sees. It's incredible.
I'd say
like,
movie is my preferred way to watch a concert. At home.
I actually
on TV.
pictured you. I pictured you watching this movie while I was at the movies yesterday. Pictured you and David and Alistair
Yeah.
watching
Producer
this
Al.
movie, like 3 songs in, like what else should we watch? Yeah, like fast forwarding through all the good songs. But
I like to see him up close. I like to see the beads of sweat. You know, I want to see
she
the beads.
does sweat.
Yeah,
She sweats a
bet.
lot. I mean, and it's cool because like, if you don't know her that well, they put titles so you know what era you're in. You don't have to wait for like costume changes. All
That's
that stuff
nice.
is instantaneous. And when she does her 2 like surprise songs, the camera got so into her like face. Like it was like I was hypnotized just watching her sing. Like she has got a hold on me. I'll admit it. I won't admit I'm a Swiftie, but she has.
I mean,
Okay.
what are we doing if you're not a
Okay.
Swiftie? What are we doing?
All right.
We need to get out your calculator, tally up the Taylor Swift totals that you've spent
I can't.
supporting this woman.
I can't because I kind of know what they are, but I think even I would be shocked. So that's the Taylor Swift movie. Before we get into Uggs, which I want to say I am shocked,
Really?
shocked
Wow.
that we are doing another controversial shoe
I
already.
think it's time. You know, it's Uggs season.
I know
the second most controversial shoe.
nothing about Uggs.
It's great.
Except their name sounds like ugly, which I don't know if that's part of the story or not, but I'm about to learn about all of that. Before we go on to that, I would like to do the results of the Charlie Brown drawing contest. We had a ton of people.
Yeah, for people last week, John taught us about peanuts and the pumpkin. What was it called? It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
The
it's
name of the
Great
show,
Pumpkin.
it's kind of like confusing. Like, it's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. I don't know.
What confuses you about that? It's literally a statement and then the name of the main character.
It'd be like if it was like, it's Santa Claus, John Glover. Like, that just feels like
Again,
weird to
I'm
me.
not confused by that at all. Wait, what is she trying to tell me?
So anyway, we drew Charlie Brown from memory.
That was the thing, to draw Charlie Brown from memory.
And this is a game everybody should try. Post your drawing of Charlie Brown from memory and tag us in it on Instagram. We would love to see your Charlie Browns.
I will say, my friend Erin did do this. She was inspired to do her own, sent me her picture, and it's terrifying. And I'm trying to, she admitted that it's terrifying on Instagram, and I'm trying to get her to post it.
Okay,
so
good.
let's just go over what some of the comments we got from people. And then we'll reveal the winner. Just Sharon 0504 said she's voting for A because of the eyebrows. She liked the eyebrows. Blonde Surgeon was disturbed by B's eyes, so she went for A for that reason. Someone wrote that A looks like an adult and B looks like a baby and didn't vote at all. So we had nothing for that. Sitco voted for A. Aaron voted for A. Someone else said A. D. Hoyt77 said A all day.
I will say, it seems like nobody voted B.
No, that's not true. We got one of the first people to write in wrote this. A feels like a critique of Van Gogh's Eris period, while B beckons a past of longing and apathy. Both are mocking me. That said, drawing B for its black dead eyes. So B did get 1 vote. We also did get our first comment from official Terry Hatcher, who says that B
Friend
looks...
of the pod.
Friend of the pod. Started following us on Instagram. She wrote, B looks like one of the button eye kids from Coraline. So she voted for A, and she would know because she was a voice actor on Coraline.
Wow.
Which I thought was really cool.
That's
and
really cool.
I actually thought when I saw B, because I was A and I won by a margin of 8-1. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. That your eyes did look very Coraline.
buttony. Yeah,
like
quite
different
buttony.
sizes and like Coraline. It was a little terrifying.
I remember in my mind, Charlie Brown has big, buttony, soulless eyes.
Well,
Like the rocks in his Halloween bucket.
he didn't want the rocks. The rocks were thrust upon
know,
him.
maybe he
well,
wanted
there
them.
you go. I won. So first bragging rights on what will be a continuing series of Draw It From Memory.
Well, you are having a great weekend. You won the contest. You got a lot of great merch.
I did.
You're having a great time.
Waited for everyone to throw their popcorn away so I could steal their buckets. Chef,
These
whatever
are the
that means.
rumors that are spread about you.
Yeah.
What do you feel? Okay, we're talking Uggs today.
Okay.
I've never seen you in a pair of Uggs. Just knowing your vibe, I cannot imagine you in a pair of Ugg boots.
I'm sitting in a lovely air-conditioned home, sweating my ass off. My tits, I wish you guys could, we should do a behind the scenes before we prep for this pod. I was sitting here rubbing my tit sweat, trying to like get
That'll
rid of
be
it.
behind the paywall.
With the Patreon, we'll do that. I can't imagine putting those hot, disgusting boots on my feet. No offense to the people of Uggs. We're happy that you're sponsoring
Hot,
us.
disgusting boots.
I think of them, when I see an Ugg, the first thing I think of is that smell. Like, there's no way when because they look like something you wear for a week. Like, you're just at home in Uggs for a week. You pull that disgusting hot boot off your foot.
You think it's like a depression shoe.
Yeah, and it's like you see cartoon vapors of stank just going around your house, like surrounding your children's head. You get lightheaded. That's my impression of Uggs.
This is your impression. Interesting. And just even aesthetically, temperature aside, they feel like not your aesthetic at all.
They don't seem, they're not breathable.
Well, they do some kind of fun collabs, but the one that you usually see is just that brown one. And you usually like a fun color.
Is it it's like a soft material with like a fur top, right?
It's sheepskin, yeah.
And it's like fur inside,
yeah, it's
right?
like shearling inside.
You can't have a fur. It's funny that comes up. I actually sent a picture of a Converse. I saw like a fur Converse this week, and I sent it to my friend Stephanie, and she immediately wrote, "Stinks. Don't get fur shoes. They will stink immediately."
You know what's funny? To hear you take such an anti-fur stance when just like 6 months ago you went through an insane faux fur era where you bought, was this pre-pod? How many fur pillows and blankets were you buying? I mean, like dozens.
No.
Your bed was covered in fake fur pillows and blankets.
I bought no more than 5 fur blankets.
That's a lot. And pillows.
I know, but I am not anti-fur.
So wouldn't you like it on your feet?
No.
Yeah, this isn't like, this isn't the ethics of it. This is like just the fuzziness level.
Well, mine are fake fur, first of all.
But
like, it's not an ethics
you
thing.
like the feeling of the fur on your body. Don't you think you would like your feet enveloped in like warm, swampy, cozy goodness?
No. I honestly, it seems so unfun to me.
Wow.
Give me a slick, tight sock and a sharp shoe
to sleep in. You do sleep in shoes. Sometimes you sleep in shoes. Uggs would be a good sleeping shoe. I have a really lovely pair of Uggs slippers. They make a fantastic loafer.
Well, okay, let me ask you, why did you do Uggs? I don't feel like I've ever seen you in Uggs. Do you wear Uggs?
You don't pay attention to anything anybody wears. I will say that in general.
That's true. I also I don't know if this is for after dark or not.
Notice the way anybody looks. You don't notice how large women's breasts are.
I was just about to say, that's the one I was about to say. I have no idea. If Alistair was like, hey, what does Marissa's breast look like?
I mean, that would be a strange question.
No idea. She's got 2. I think she's got 2.
You wouldn't even know if I had 2.
I don't know. I would say they're medium.
So I do have Uggs, and I do wear Uggs quite a bit.
Really? I think I always see you barefoot.
In the autumn, winter months. I mean, you don't wear them. I don't wear them in the summer because they do get a bit hot, a bit swampy.
Okay. You said swampy twice. You're kind of pushing my agenda here and not your own.
You know when it gets you, when it bites you in the butt? When the mornings are chilly and you think it's going to be a cold day, so you pop on your Uggs, and then by like 11 a.m. the sun is sizzling you.
It's like 78 degrees.
It's 78 degrees.
And if you like squat down to pick something up and a little like a little space in your Ugg and your leg is exposed and that stank starts to like rise out, you're like, oh, right, I shouldn't have worn my Uggs today.
Yeah, that's always happening. So you have to be really confident that you're like solidly into fall.
Hi, this is Chris Howard, host of Plugged In with Chris Howard. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from Major League Baseball, NHL, and UFC, and professional golf, BetOnline remains the number one source for all your sports wagering info. In between games, head over to the BetOnline's casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Shopify's point of sale system helps you sell at every stage of your business. Need a fast and secure way to take payments in person? We've got you covered. How about card readers you can rely on anywhere you sell?
Thanks. Have a good one.
Yep, that too. Want one place to manage all your online and in-person sales? That's kind of our thing. Wherever you sell, businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 a month trial at shopify.com/listen. Shopify.com/listen.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
tell me why you pick. I have a lot of reasons why I picked my episode.
Yeah.
So I am curious why you were all in on Uggs.
I have been wearing Uggs since I was in high school, and I thought that Uggs have just always been around forever.
What?
And then in 1994, 80% of Ugg sales were in Southern Orange County. That's where I grew up.
Oh.
So I had kind of the sense that like Uggs have been around. Everybody's known about Uggs from the beginning of time,
Got it.
I'm realizing that it was kind of born out of the area that I'm from, San Juan Capistrano in South Orange County. And then this is something that kind of took off in the early mid 2000s on like the national worldwide scale.
Got it. So that's like me growing up in Cincinnati. It was very commonplace and still is to have a plate full of spaghetti with chili poured on top of it and a giant mound of shredded cheddar cheese. I find that very normal.
Yes.
Outside of Cincinnati, not always so normal. And
We're not-
everyone that's
we're
listening.
not eating that in California. We might put an avocado on a plate of spaghetti, but we're not putting chili on top.
Okay, just real quick, and then you can move on. I was in Pasadena a couple years ago, and there was some diner that had a big sign in the window that said, now serving Cincinnati-style chili,
Wow.
and they had a picture of it. So I'm not the only
Isn't
one.
that so crazy that there could be like iconic popular foods from other cities or states that you just never even hear of? Like Detroit style pizza came to LA 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like, how was there like another way to make pizza? And it's so amazing. And we're just getting it in Los Angeles.
And isn't it weird? I feel like Los Angeles was for so long looking for what their food is. Like
Yeah.
apparently we created the French dip, but that wasn't our food. I think for a while they were trying to say the hot dog is our food, but it's not. And then I think now we're kind of on taco. We do tacos,
Yeah.
which we do a lot, but I don't think, unless I'm wrong, LA is really known for a food.
What food tastes like broken dreams?
A crackly taco. Maybe it is tacos.
An overpriced cupcake.
A hard-shelled taco or a cupcake.
Yeah.
Okay,
it is
so-
LA's food. Yeah.
So you grew up with them. That's how you became exposed to them.
Yes, and this was really a status shoe when I was in high school. The Ugg brand sheepskin boot worn with yoga pants is what like
right.
the cheerleaders in my high school were wearing.
That's what I picture them always being worn
of
with.
course. And which is, it's kind of I don't want to say dumpy, but it's kind of like a dumpy shoe to be like the popular girl uniform.
Yeah.
It's not like sexy, but that was a real status symbol. And like I know I had a real pair of Uggs, but I would also get like the knockoff, the cheap ones from Costco. I think the brand was like Bear Paw or something. And that was a little bit. Is there anything sadder than like trying to get the status shoe, but getting the like Costco knockoff version?
It reminds me of any time I'm in any grocery store and then the grocery store brand sodas, like instead of
know.
Mountain Dew, they have like Mountain Lion.
Yeah.
I love it.
I know. There's something so sweet and earnest about it. And it's just, I don't know. For some reason, that makes me feel sad for little 15-year-old me, like wanting to fit in like that.
So how did you get your first pair of Uggs? Did you save up for them? Were you like, Mommy, I really want
Mommy. I'm 17.
You're-
Mommy.
It does seem like how you might have been, to be honest. But
Yeah.
like,
I didn't drive for a very
Tara,
long
I
time.
would like a pair of Uggs.
I can't remember what my mom wore them too, so I know they were kind of like around in the family. There must have been a time where maybe like for a special treat, maybe back to school shopping one year. I got blessed with.
She didn't pass
a
down
pair.
her stanky old pair to you. Your first one was just a rotten
Boy,
old
you
pair
want to
from
see
your
a
mom.
stanky old pair in general. And this is speaking. I'm as a mom now, and I know like how like you just let everything slide. In general, mom's Uggs are going to be pretty rough.
I would say if you want to see a stanky Ugg, look at any Ugg. But if you want to see a really stanky Ugg, look at a mom Ugg.
Any mom Ugg is like, the ship has sailed on trying anything. This is not a cute Ugg. This is a working Ugg. Okay?
You know what an Ugg reminds me of? I just realized it.
What?
An Ugg reminds me of the bathrooms of the 70s. A carpeted bathroom where there's like pee stains on it.
Yeah.
And it's like matted down, but there's nothing nice under the carpet, so they don't pull it up. That is what an Ugg is. Again, I am so sorry to the people of Ugg.
The fact that people used to carpet a toilet, like a room with a toilet. Can you think of anything more psychotic than that?
Listen, I'm a little torn because I do like the idea of like not sitting on a super cold, like in the Midwest, because I picture them in the Midwest, and in the winter, sometimes the toilets are super cold. So I understand the carpet, but no. You
need to
overall,
fatten up that ass.
what?
You need to fatten up that ass.
For our fans and listeners, I have a very flat ass. Like, I have it's unreal. It's almost like concave.
I've been begging Jon to show me his ass for years, and he won't
know what
do
my
it.
ass looks like? My ass looks like that episode of Sex and the City where Samantha decided to sleep with the 80-year-old, and she sees him walk to the bathroom naked, and he's just got this saggy flat ass. That's me.
I mean, I'm dying to. Maybe we'll put that behind the paywall.
Yeah, if you guys are
The
willing to,
OnlyFans.
if you will support our Patreon, episode 1 will be Jon's flat ass.
Great.
Let's go for it. Okay.
You're sitting in just like a clear chair while we're podcasting nude, and we put a camera underneath.
Jon's ass cam. Oh, God.
Oh, God.
All right.
Oh,
So
God.
let's get back to your disgusting shoe.
So these disgusting shoes, they're sheepskin boots, and they've been around since the 1800s.
No way.
They were worn by shepherds.
Wait, Shepherd who said that I went around going
No.
around getting buckets?
Australian shepherds.
Wait, the brand Ugg has been around since...
No, the type of shoe. So this is like that same type of boot.
Got it.
So they were around in the 1800s. They were boots in rural Australia during the 1920s. They were worn by sheep shearers. They were resistant to the lanolin, like from the sheep shearing process. So they were really like sturdy for like people who worked with sheep, I guess.
Okay, so for a couple hundred years, people have been killing sheep and using their skin to wrap their feet in. Uggs was like, you know what? Let's monetize this.
Well, you're on the right track. So they were also worn by pilots, and the term
Pilots?
Australian and United Kingdom war pilots wore these sheepskin boots around their feet to ward off frostbite during unpressurized flights.
Okay.
That's pretty fun, right?
I wouldn't say fun. It's literally just the definition of a fact. And now a fact.
Well, this is interesting because those pilots might be originators of the term Ugg, as they called the boots the flying Uggs, which was short for ugly.
Well, okay, so it did get its name from ugly.
Yes, that's possible. And there's some mythology. There's some like competing mythology about where they originated.
So it could have been someone like, ugh, I got to wrap this sheepskin around my foot again.
My shoes stink.
Ugh, my mom gave me her stinky shoes.
Yeah, exactly.
We will never know for sure.
There's so many
But
origins.
I do believe that coming from ugly is probably true.
It does ring the most true to me.
Yeah.
So in the 1970s, there was the Australian surfing community, and they were really into these boots because they would put them on in between surfing sessions. They would keep their feet warm, cold water.
You're telling me that surfers who are on the
Yes.
sand, constantly barefoot,
Yes.
they jump out of the ocean,
Yes.
and they're like, I want to wrap my feet in like a furry boot.
That's what they say. They say they became fond of the fluffy little numbers as a warm place to put cold post-surf feet.
So they have seaweed,
Sandy, sticky.
ocean foot.
Yes.
Slide it into a dead lamb.
I'm telling you, that's a stinky boot.
They're like
that's gonna
heaven.
be a stinky boot.
I'm in heaven. Okay. Now maybe I'm on board with Uggs.
Now you like them?
Get me a pair. I could see surfers loving them at the end of the day of surfing. Like, it's been a long day. Now they're sitting by the fire. They slip into a boot. But honestly, an Ugg plus sand seems insane to me.
Yeah, they didn't say at the end of the day. They did say in between.
Weird.
So I think the Ugg was coming off and they were hitting the water again.
That's insane. I feel like a surfer hacked Wikipedia just to try to get more surfer notice.
You think surfers are like keep editing Wikipedia articles to get surfing into articles for different companies?
I'm just going to say I'm going to keep an eye out for it now. The next time I see a surfer reference on a Wikipedia page.
Do you remember me telling you that I kept trying to add myself as a notable alum to my high school Wikipedia page and people kept taking it down?
No.
For like, this was a couple years ago.
First of all, that's also crazy.
So the Wikipedia page, which if anybody wants to add it and cite some resources, I'm happy to have somebody else contribute to this.
Does it have to be done by somebody else?
Well, they don't know it's me. I probably put in a fake name, but I added myself. You know who else went to my high school?
Who?
Nicole Brown Simpson.
Well, she's notable.
So to be fair, I'm not quite as notable as her.
What were you trying to be noted for?
Well, I think I've had a pretty nice career. I wrote a book. I have a podcast now. I've written for several TV shows. I think that's a pretty cool. And I wanted to put myself as a notable alum on my high school's Wikipedia page. And
it's not even like a normal Wikipedia page. It's like just go to like whatever
if you go to
highschool.com.
here's my high school, Dana Hills High School. If you go to that Wikipedia page, there's a list of notable alum. Even if you look at the edit history, you'll see my edits in there. And I would put them in.
Remove them?
I would put them in, and then like I would look back like a week later, and somebody had removed them. So somebody was like, "Who's she?" And then Googled me and was like, "No."
I don't know what's crazier, that you did it or that
Somebody else.
someone has eyes on it. You know, it's probably a surfer because you went to school by surfers.
There were a lot of surfers in my
Wow,
school.
we're really getting to something in this episode.
Yeah, maybe they took my name off and just put like the person who invented surfing.
All I know is that I am also a notable student from my
Yes.
school. It has never entered my mind. I don't even post it on like Facebook, like my things.
I don't know why I just got this in my mind that I needed this little sliver of
Sometimes
glory.
we just need recognition.
What was that
sometimes.
about?
It's like when sometimes you just need a hug.
I just needed to feel proud of myself.
I
Because
understand.
this is a hard city to make it in, and sometimes you have to kind of like step back and be like, hey, I made it. I've done some cool stuff.
What I will say, what I'm surprised about this is you did write a book, and I think I've always thought that's so fantastic. You never talk about it.
No, I only want the Wikipedia notice.
You only want the students of your past to know.
Those Ugg wearing bitches. Me and my bear paws.
Those surfing hackers. Yeah, well,
How
hopefully.
dare they?
Maybe one day it'll come back. Maybe it was just removed, like it had to be fact checked.
Yeah. Also, now I have to write a fake article citing my accomplishments to then use as a resource on Wikipedia. Okay. I'll put the brand freaks on it.
Just do a bunch of need citations on it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. Hopefully, now that it's out there, maybe some of our listeners
I
will
hope so.
join the cause.
I sure hope so. Okay, so it's 1978. This guy, Brian Smith, he's living in Santa Monica. He's a surfer from Australia. He's going to UCLA, studying accounting. And then he said he was meditating and he was wondering what he was going to do. This is his quote. That was when the thought came to me. All the trends were coming out of California. I came to California looking for the next big thing to bring back to Australia. Okay, so he's kind of thinking he's this Australia-California connection. He's saying that culture in Australia, culture in California are really similar. They both have like this surfer. Kind of beachy
That's
community.
not a knife.
Yeah, people are always saying that here, which is weird because that's an Australian thing. And then in Australia, they're saying like, beep, beep, hey, get out of my way. Traffic jam.
Traffic, got it.
Traffic,
Right.
yeah.
So
big
I
LA
did the
thing.
knife when you did traffic. Okay.
Yeah, so it goes both ways. So he was traveling around. He was trying to find something that he could use as this like big idea, this like big Australian idea to bring to California or vice versa. And then one day he picked up a surfer magazine.
I had a joke.
What was it?
Put his foot in a kangaroo pouch.
He put his foot in a kangaroo pouch.
And he's like, this could be a good shoe.
But then it's like, where do you find a second one?
Right. So
Yeah.
then luckily another kangaroo came along and stuck his foot in that too.
And then
He's like, ugh. And he's like, I've got it. All right, sorry.
you have your inventor hat on today. I love it. That's
I
also
have
a
to.
really
It's
good marketing
your
campaign.
episode.
So one day he picked up a surfing magazine, Surfers, look out.
Surfers, here it comes again.
And there was an ad inside for a pair of sheepskin boots. That's when he knew he had found his product. That it struck him instantly. There are no sheepskin boots
For a reason.
in America.
Uh-huh.
The sheepskin trend was growing rapidly in Australia. Almost every high school girl at this point had already owned a pair. This is in the 70s. And Australian surfers were just starting to bring the product with them into the States.
You know what I find interesting about so many of our pods?
Yes.
Is these people that create these iconic brands just saw it somewhere else.
Totally.
Like, oh, I saw a guy using this sponge that gets hard. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to sell that same sponge that gets hard.
It makes me feel like we're just so lazy that we're not like looking around constantly for things to just become billionaires from.
Even Barbie did that. She saw that doll overseas.
We need to hit some toy shows in Germany.
Or something.
We got to hit
Foam.
someplace, somewhere.
We have a lot to do.
Get
We
on
need to take a
something.
hiatus.
So he's assuming because California and Australia are very similar, he thought this is going to be like an overnight success. He thinks he's going to just like show up at a store with a bucket of boots and they're going to be like flying off the shelves.
Forgive me if I didn't hear you if you said this. The shoes in California that he thought were going to be an instant hit, what were those shoes?
Those are Uggs.
Those are Uggs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are Uggs. Yeah. And he just assumed that they would be very successful. But he said people in Southern California didn't really understand the shoe. They thought that sheepskin would be delicate. But in fact, it's considered durable.
In fact, it's considered disgusting.
People in Southern California thought the shoe was disgusting, and he thought it was durable.
I actually didn't even know how much I hated Uggs until this
I know.
pod.
You're very vocal about things you hate, so I can't believe this hasn't come up until now.
Because I've never seen you wear them.
Yeah,
And apparently
well,
you wear them all the time.
Now I'm going to be very
Gotta
self-conscious
take
about
these
it.
blinders off.
So he tried to market it originally using like expensive and glamorous models as it's described, but I can't imagine a glamorous person in a pair of Uggs. It just doesn't seem to like mirror with glamour.
Well, I mean, if Crocs taught us anything,
yeah,
I mean,
if
they
it
hit the runway, so I'm not going to be surprised if all of a sudden there's a bejeweled Ugg coming down the road.
Oh, they are. They are. So surfers thought that the Ugg brand looked fake. So then he realized he had to start do shoots with like pro surfers and like kind of make it seem like this is a lifestyle that he's selling. This is like a boot you stick your like sandy, wet seaweed foot in your Ugg. So after 3 years of no traction, Ugg sales skyrocketed to $400,000 in a 2-month season.
Wow.
Pretty huge. Meteoric rise. But that, I mean, 3 years of no traction, that's like us. That's encouraging.
Oh my God, we're going to be so big in 2026.
I'm very encouraged by these like not overnight successes that end up being huge because it's like they just put in the hours. They really grind.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you've heard how J.K. Rowling was rejected by like 40 publishers
Of course.
before Harry
Taylor
Potter.
Swift, I'm sure she took her lumps.
No. She
She
was
had no
successful
lumps?
from the first song, from the first twang of her guitar.
So we're not really a Taylor Swift story. We're more like a Ugg.
We're more an Ugg. Yeah, for sure an Ugg.
So he took his sales pitch to Chicago, hoping to gain like Macy's and Nordstrom's. And so this is like something I found this phrase puzzling, and I want to run it by you.
Okay.
The buyer for Nordstrom or Macy's or whatever, it says he approached Smith and he puzzled him with one simple question. He said to me, "Brian, why are you here? Don't you get it? We're the elephants. We don't move until the mice are running around under our feet." What does that mean? We don't
Say it
move.
again. We are the elephants. What?
We're the elephants. We don't move until the mice are running around under our feet. Maybe the fact that we don't understand this means we don't have what it takes to run a department store.
Is it possible? Did he have samples? Maybe he had one of his samples on, and the fumes from the Ugg just made the guy at
possibly.
Macy's
Yeah.
like a little cocoa.
A little woozy.
Cocoa. Cuckoo. God, are you wearing your Uggs? Okay, so what happened at Macy's? So no one
wanted it.
We don't want your shoes. Get out of Chicago.
That's right. He took one look at that big shiny bean and then he got on the train out of town.
And then where did he go? What did he do? How did this happen?
All right, so now it's the early 1990s. Ugg decides to hire a PR agency and launch a national casual comfort campaign.
Okay.
Ultimately, the agent overbooked and gave Brian Smith, Ugg man, only 5 minutes to pitch his product. That very brief phone call would lead to one of the biggest breakthroughs for the brand. The following day, Ugg boots were on the front page of the lifestyle section of USA Today.
Wow.
By the time he arrived back in California, the phones, in quotes, hadn't stopped ringing from retailers all over the country who wanted to know how to stock Uggs.
That's how it happens.
That's how it happens.
That's how it happens.
We need a PR agent.
Quit worrying about us. You got to worry about Ugg.
I'm really jealous of Ugg. I want to be in Nordstrom.
We are definitely the mice.
Maybe then I'll make the Wikipedia page.
Oh, boy.
So 1994, as I mentioned, 80% of the sales were in Southern Orange County. So that's really like the epicenter of the growing trend. So where were you in 1994? I know we can't reveal your age.
Right.
It's an
I was in
industry
Ohio.
secret. But Uggs, no one was wearing Uggs.
I can't remember the first time I saw someone wear Uggs. You would think that would stick in my mind.
You think it would, right?
Because it would have scarred me, but no, I
Smell,
don't remember.
Stank.
No, that stank. What's that stank? I don't remember. I do feel like it was like mid-90s, though. Like,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
possible. But it was the epicenter was in Southern California. It's possible they made it their way to Ohio.
I was probably, laying in bed, flipping to a fashion magazine, and I saw a pair.
Slurping down some spaghetti and chili.
Yes, Skyline chili.
You forgot your favorite food.
We'll do an episode on Skyline chili at some point.
They were worn by the U.S. Olympic team for the 1994 Winter Olympics.
What?
Stings?
Oh, like after they're not competing in
No,
them.
they didn't do like figure skating in Uggs.
Everyone in the Winter Olympics had to new rules, everybody. Put your Uggs on.
All Uggs.
I could see maybe the curlers wearing Uggs. Can I just say
Yes.
how
You love
impressed I
curling.
am by curlers.
Curling, I can't believe we haven't talked about curling on the pod. Curling took America's hearts by storm.
It's insane.
It's one of those things I feel like when you're watching it, you're like, I could probably do that.
Oh, it's definitely one of those things. I'm like, well, I'm sure Al's like, I could do the sweeping because he's a sweep freak. But
If somebody said you have a year to train for an Olympic sport and you have to be on par with like an Olympian,
I'd say, I don't have a year. Give me a week and I'll do curling.
What's happening to you in a year?
I mean,
We know
I
the way
would like to
things are
see
going.
Taylor. Well, we'll talk about that. But yeah, I do love curling.
Yeah,
okay,
curling is
so everyone
awesome.
in the Olympics has slipped into their Uggs. Oprah's wearing them.
Well, that's coming. Hasn't come up yet.
Bill Clinton has them on when he's playing the saxophone on Arsenio Hall.
Titanic is but 3 years away.
We're 3 years out.
James Cameron might be wearing Uggs as he's sketching out Rose for Titanic.
I could see the cast of Titanic after doing those long water scenes, getting out of the pool or the tanks and slipping into some Uggs.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Wow, I love that. Sting's wife, but you didn't hear her name coming up in this story.
No.
Sting's wife, Trudy Styler, was a big celebrity fan of the brand. She convinced Brian Smith of the Uggman to send a pair to Oprah.
And
then
it.
in 2000,
Don't tell me it's one of her favorite things.
nearly 3 years after the initial big pitch, the PR pitch, Oprah emphatically declared Ugg one of her favorite things.
Favorite things.
And the brand gifted 350 pairs of boots to her studio audience.
And they
Lost their minds.
Okay. We need listen.
Anything.
We both have a lot of things going through our head right now at this moment. We need to have a quick discussion.
Let's just sidebar for a minute on Oprah's favorite
Sidebar on
things.
Oprah's favorite things. Because when it started, well intended, here's a couple of my favorite things. I use this makeup. I want you to use it. Now it's like Amazon is her favorite thing. Anything on there. Like she comes out
scam.
with her list, it's 700 things.
And it's not even her. It's like her team.
It's her team.
Back then you felt like it was like Oprah who had like a chocolate covered strawberry from this company. And
Right.
she's like, put it on the list.
Or Sprinkles. She did Sprinkles
Yes.
cupcakes and lines were down the street. I feel like if I were to go up to her after her list came out and like showed her a product, she'd be like, what's that? And I'd be like, Oprah, it's one of your favorite things. I thought this was one of your favorite things. That's why I
Yeah,
bought it.
It's kind of a sham now. But watching those audiences lose their minds, wouldn't you just give anything to be there?
I wanted to be on Oprah's favorite things. I wanted to be on Ellen's 12 Days of Christmas or whatever. I've always wanted to be in a studio audience being showered with free things I don't need or have space for in my 250 square foot apartment. A refrigerator, bring it on. 60-foot television, yes, please.
Jet ski, sure.
Sure, yes. Can we just sidebar again real quick?
Uh-huh.
Price is Right. How bad do you feel when the Showcase Showdown has a boat in it?
I know.
Who wants
Who
a
needs a
boat?
boat? Ugh.
Okay.
It's like giving someone a horse.
Yeah, it's like someone giving you a horse. Speaking of which, you told me this story. I don't know if it's true. I will maybe have to fact check. She's no longer with us, but
This is true.
This is true.
Yes.
Apparently, for either a wrap gift or a holiday gift, Kirstie
Alley. Okay, yeah. So this is Hollywood lore, but it is true because I verified it pretty recently. Kirstie Alley, after the show Veronica's Closet. So sometimes it's a normal thing in Hollywood. After a show wraps, after they're done filming, maybe the star of the show will give everybody in the cast and crew a gift.
A nice gift,
A
especially
nice
if it's a
gift.
successful show.
Sure. Kirstie Alley gave every member of the cast and crew a live caged bird.
It is one of my favorite Hollywood stories. It is so removed.
It speaks to the delusion of celebrities.
And again, we
Yes.
love her. She was fantastic on Cheers. I don't want to
Fantastic.
speak ill of the dead. But if I came to work and someone was like, "Did you get your bird?" and they handed
Especially
me...
as you, somebody who loves free stuff, would it be easy or hard to not take that bird home?
Honestly, I'd probably go home with 3 birds. I would be Melissa McCarthy in Bridesmaids, like
Yeah.
with 9 puppies. But that's kind of insane.
It is insane. It is insane.
And that's a fun thing for you listeners to now share at a party.
Mm-hmm. Next time you're talking about the iconic primetime sitcom Veronica's Closet, which we all remember.
Next time someone says, did you hear Kirstie Allen passed away? Oh, I did. And did you hear this?
She gave everybody a live parakeet.
Let's get back to Uggs.
So now hockey moms, celebrities, nearly every young female in the United States has a pair of Uggs.
Once the hockey moms have it, it's at its peak and it's only going down from there. Like it's not getting higher than the hockey moms.
Well, good timing for Brian Smith to sell the brand to Deckers.
Okay.
14.6
trillion.
million.
Oh.
That's low.
Million or billion?
Million.
14 million?
I mean, at that time, this was 1995. So actually, they hadn't reached their peak yet. So 2003 is like Paris Hilton, Us Weekly. That's a lot of like celebs are kind of stomping around. Beyonce, Kate Moss.
These have Paris Hilton written all over them.
Yes. And 2003 was a very like celebrity, tabloidy kind of time. So Uggs were on the tootsies of Hollywood's hottest stars, let's just say.
God. I didn't think you could make Uggs worse than that sentence.
Tootsies?
Yeah, I don't know.
Slipping a tootsie in a pair of steaming Uggs.
Oh, God.
Alistair, producer Alistair has a fact.
She has an inflation of 14 million. Now would be what?
29 million.
I mean, honestly, that doesn't seem like that much.
Well, I mean, based on how the brand has grown, they have made a profit.
Oh, well, good.
So in 2006, they have their first brick and mortar store. And then 2010, as you mentioned, the aforementioned fall. So that's kind of like we're starting to now see a decline. They're kind of starting to branch out to kind of gain back some of the momentum that they had before. Like they do a men's ad with Tom Brady to try to appeal to the dudes to get some Uggs.
No.
That's
like when they came out with men's lipstick. We don't want it.
You don't wear lipstick?
We don't want it.
You don't have a little rouge on now?
Well, I mean, in high school I did.
They have their home goods launched.
No.
Rugs, blankets, pillows. To me,
a lifestyle brand.
Uggs Home Goods feels very Nordstrom Rack.
Very Nordstrom Rack.
Can't you just see like an Uggs duvet just all bundled up on a pile of bath bombs?
Yeah.
Just like tossed on a big display of bath bombs.
Yeah, for sure. Like old holiday bath bombs, like an old candy cane, like a chunk out of it, bath bomb rolling around on an Uggs comforter.
The gall places like that have to charge for broken bath bombs. It's like, give them to the needy. What? They should be free.
I'm gonna head out.
A shattered bath bomb. Same goes, honestly, if we're talking about seasonal. A broken candy cane. That should not be full price. I want to suck on the hook. Right? That's what I'm paying for.
You do know that candy canes are modeled after shepherd staffs.
Oh my God! Full circle.
Full circle. What is it?
Shepherds.
Oh,
Shepherd's boots.
right. Shepherd who thought I was buying all these.
No,
the shepherd
boots.
from the boot. Right. There's a lot of shepherds and surfers in this episode. I feel like we drank coffee before this episode, and you did. I didn't. Wait, I was going to say something that was going to shock you.
What? Bath bombs?
No. Duvets.
Yes.
I actually wouldn't mind an Ugg. I could see that being used for bedding. This is the same as my fur bedding, more than a shoe.
You would want to be sweating your full body off you would want to be inside an Ugg boot, like your whole body in a boot.
If you knew me as well as you act like you know me, you know I don't cover my entire person when I'm in bed. I cover my midsection. My legs are exposed and my waist up is exposed. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind.
So you want an Ugg belt. That's what you're saying.
No, see?
A sheepskin belt?
No, I don't want that. It's insane. Anything that you say that's Ugg, I either want it 100% or don't.
Okay. So you want a corner of an Ugg duvet to drape over your belly.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, great. We figured it out.
Maybe I'll just cut up a boot. Do they even still sell them?
Yes, they still sell them.
It's still a brand?
Okay, get ready because Ugg comes back.
Bring it home.
In 2016, they rebranded to Ugg instead of Ugg Australia.
Did they just add more G's because we're all so exhausted about this brand now?
Well, okay, here's a good boring brand fact. In 2016, they had to rebrand to Ugg instead of Ugg Australia in response to an investigation because of a complaint that the sheepskin boots are made in China.
Oh.
That's your boring brand fact.
That's like equivalent to like Subway getting sued because their footlongs were 11 inches.
11 inches. You know who would measure a foot long and sue? You.
Wow.
I would not be surprised to see you walk into Subway with a ruler.
Honey, you're never going to see me walk into Subway because I eat at Jersey Mike's.
Wow.
Funny thing, did you notice that Subway now is doing sliced meats instead, just like Jersey Mike's? Mm-hmm. Okay.
You're mad?
No, we just gone on too many side rails.
You're mad at Subway for trying to compete in a tough industry?
I'm mad at Subway for a lot of things.
Aren't we all, honey?
I mean, their spokesperson, don't even, well, it's not what the...
I don't know if mad is really the right way to describe the Jared Fogle scandal. I don't know if I'm mad at Subway.
Wow, you know his full name?
Don't you?
Impressive. No.
Wow, well, maybe we'll do a Subway episode someday.
That's yours.
2023.
Okay, we're perfect. We're almost done. It is this year.
2023. There's a Vogue article that came out a couple months ago. The title of the article, How the Ugg Boot Became Fashion's Hottest Shoe Again.
How? Okay, I'm trying to think of how I would have phrased that if I worked there. Where the stank ranks. No. All right. No, I'll go for...
You work on that.
Okay.
Do you know who the supermodel Bella Hadid is?
Yes.
Gigi Hadid, Bella Hadid, they're
Yes.
two
Sure.
just
Yes.
beautiful sisters.
Yeah.
So she was walking the streets of New York City. I have to show you a picture of this outfit. And I don't even think this was like a campaign with Uggs. This was just like her outfit. She was walking the streets of New York City. She got spotted by a paparazzi wearing a leather jacket, a t-shirt, a pair of white men's underwear, white tube socks, and mini platform Ugg boots. This is a reworked classic of Ugg's classic boot with a 2-inch platform. When she wore the chunky Ugg boots with also no pants, which is like a thing that like hot girls are doing now, they just don't wear pants.
Good Lord.
It ignited a whole new fashion movement going viral on TikTok. The style sold out. They had a 152% increase in searches. Suddenly the Ugg mini platform became fashion's hottest new shoe, going as much as double the $150 retail price. $150 is how much they normally sell for. People were reselling them for $300 on resale websites.
Wow. A mild profit.
Do you want to show John this picture?
And what you take shipping out.
Do you like the way the boots look there? Do they look stinky?
I mean, it all looks stupid, but when you're that like attractive,
When you're that hot, you can wear anything.
yeah, when you're that attractive, you can wear a paint can and it'll go viral.
Do you want to do a photo shoot where you recreate that outfit?
Maybe. I mean, maybe for our Patreon.
You in some tighty whities, that flat ass on display.
Yeah, let's show this flat ass. Well,
It's a little egregious. It's just like basically bragging about how hot you are.
It
That
really
it's like,
is.
look what I can wear and still be hot.
yeah, Justin Bieber's been doing that a lot lately too. Like his wife comes out and she looks so glamorous and beautiful. He looks insane, and I
sure.
love Justin Bieber, but man, he is doing something.
It's really rude.
Yeah,
It's really
you're
rude
already
to the rest
hot.
of us.
You're already rich. Give us a break.
So Uggs are back. They're back in the mainstream. They're back on all the celebrities' tootsies. They're walking the runway. The Ugg era is firmly back again.
I mean, it does make sense, like fashion-wise, the fashion cycle, it would make sense that they would be coming back. Because we've kind of already had the 90s come back, and I feel like we're kind of tapering off that. Overalls came back, and
Yeah.
I feel like Steve Madden even came back.
And anything that's kind of like early 2000s style, Y2K style, they call it. And Helene Frayne, I think she's like the vice president of footwear design. She's kind of commenting on like the cyclical nature of it. She's like, they want the shoe to feel so like timeless. They don't want it to swing too far into like, now we're doing like this funky kind of high heel or we're doing whatever. They want it to be just like little edits on this like same sheepskin boot. Like just this iconic thing that it's timeless in a way. And maybe it'll come and go, but it'll always be there.
Very similar to Crocs, I gotta
Yeah.
say. Very similar. Someone saw an ugly shoe and made a bunch of money off of it. They should do a collab. An Ugg Croc collab is like the ultimate.
Do you know Johnny Weir? He's the famous figure skater. He's an Olympic figure skater.
Yes.
He has a quote, "I've held on to Ugg boots. I will never graduate to Crocs, but Ugg boots are always and forever. That's my fashion stepchild."
He gives Ugg vibes. He 100% gives Ugg vibes.
But not Croc vibes. I now
Honestly,
do
he
Crocs
gives
and
Croc
Uggs.
vibes too. I don't know who he's kidding.
We'll have to poll the freaks on Instagram to see if people are Uggs, Crocs, or both. Because maybe there's not a lot of overlap. Maybe I might be rare being both. And you're none.
I mean, this is kind of a perfect segue. If you're done,
I am done.
You are done?
Yes, I'm done. That's
are you
it. That's
honestly
Uggs.
done?
I'm done. That was it. I brought you up to today.
That was the whole show?
That's the whole show.
Well, I felt like I learned a lot. I felt like I was allowed to be myself. Thank you for letting me live my truth with how I feel about Uggs.
And no one's allowed to make fun of you about how much money you spend on Taylor Swift or
Sure.
like...
I mean, you can make fun all you want. But what I was going to say, you just said we'll have people pick if they're Team Ugg or Team Croc.
That's right.
Which leads me to our very special episode coming next week.
Wow, this is going to be a big one. Our big Halloween episode next week. John, tell the listeners all about it.
On Brand with Jon and Marisa will be recording their first Battle of the Brand.
It's us.
Well, I'm the...
Oh, you're the announcer. Okay, go ahead.
Wow. From the top... On Brand with Jon and Marisa will be recording their first Battle of the Brands. So we are going to be recording our first episode of what I hope will be many of Battle of the Brands. What is Battle of the Brands? That is where both Marisa and I will take an iconic brand and we will present to you through a series of rounds why our brand is best. And because we're doing Halloween, next week's episode is Hershey's versus Mars. We will now pick from a hat to determine which team we're going to be. And next week, we will come in with our boxing gloves on as we have our first Battle of the Brands. Okay, so we are now officially drawing from a hat. Marissa's going first. I'm going second. Let's see what we got. I wanted Mars and I got Hershey. They're both going to be fantastic. Next week, John Glover will be Team Hershey. Marisa Pinson will be Team Mars.
That's right.
And we will battle it out.
Yep,
I will explain all the rules next week. It is very laid out, and then we will leave it in the hands of our listeners as to who the big winner is.
I love it.
It's going to be great.
I'm so excited. I won't be able to sleep all week.
I can't sleep. I have to eat so much Hershey's before now and then.
Have to.
For research. Well, Marisa, thank you so much for bringing another ugly shoe to the portfolio of On Brand. We've done 22 episodes. 2 of them now are on the world's ugliest shoes. But seriously, it was very fun to learn this.
If I find an Ugg brand belly blanket, I'm going to give it to you for Christmas.
Honestly, well, sure. I'll take it. I'll throw it in the storage unit. It's been awesome having this week with the Charlie Brown drawing, having so many people write us on Instagram.
Oh, can I give a shout out to a brand freak of the week?
Oh, yeah. That's something new we're going to do. We're going to do a shout out to who we consider the freak of the week.
Donna Yorty on Instagram said, just listen to this podcast. John, I was always under the assumption that the part of the peanut that you refer to as the connector is actually the seed from which a new peanut plant would grow. I hope I haven't ruined anything for you. By the way, love the pod, and I would love a Joe Cool t-shirt. I look great in white.
Wow. Talk about manipulative. So she wants the shirt. That might be able to happen, and I was interested when she wrote that. I mean, really, I can't commit on air.
You don't like the shirt.
I know. But I did have a good friend, Jill, write and said she was willing to make me this quilt that you talked about.
Okay, yeah,
She
right.
sews.
Okay.
She sews. Anyway.
Does it change how you feel eating the connector knowing that it's a baby peanut?
I need to do some research on that because that seems insane to me that I can just throw a bunch of connectors into the dirt and get a bunch of peanut plants.
Okay, well, something new for you to research. Becoming a peanut farmer.
After pod, I'm a peanut farmer.
Thank you so much to our Freak of the Week. If anybody else wants to shout out to us on Instagram or Apple Podcasts, we'd love to hear from you guys. If there's a brand you want us to talk about, if you have a comment on the episode, it really just makes our day to get any feedback from everybody. Compliments only.
No, you can slam us.
Sure, you could slam
Tell
us.
us what pieces of junk we are.
That's right. And we will be back next week with our special Halloween Battle of the Brands. We'll see you then.
Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.
If you're looking to streamline your audio advertising buys and maximize your revenue, look no further than Triton Digital's programmatic audio advertising exchange, A2X. The private exchange consists of only licensed broadcasters and top-tier internet radio publishers, assuring the quality inventory and brand safety you can trust. Visit www.tritondigital.com to learn more.